Welcome to this video, Music Business Management 101, Lesson 8, Copyright Your Music. You may have wondered at some point, do I need to copyright my music? Again, I'm going to give you a warning. I'm not a copyright lawyer. This is just what I've learned from what I know. When starting out, you probably don't need to copyright your music because it might not be financially viable. You might not be able to afford it. That being said, according to US law, when you create something, such as music, you automatically own the copyright as soon as you create the original work. And you are not required to register your copyright, but you should, so you have a greater level of protection if someone illegally uses your work without your permission. So those are the underlying sentences there. In layman's terms, if you start to get any sort of momentum in your career, legally protect your music with a copyright. Another reason to get a copyright for your music, sync licensing. It makes it easier to claim royalties and sue offenders who steal your works. Copyright considerations. You have to think about certain things such as, are you going to be copywriting something as a solo author or a standard copyright? If you are the only writer and musician, you can file as a solo author. If in a band or work with other artists in collaborations, you need to use a standard copyright. You also have to think about a work of performance versus sound recording copyright. If you're copywriting the lyrics and/or musical composition, it's the work of performance copyright. If you recorded it at home or at an independent studio, you likely own the recording as well. And that means you can do sound recording copyright. If you recorded in a studio that is owned by a label, then you probably won't be able to copyright the sound recording. They actually have the copyright or the ownership or rights to that sound recording. Oh, and one more thing. Distribution platforms do not copyright your work automatically. Some people think as soon as it's launched, distribution centers like DistroKid or CD Baby actually copyright the music for them. That's not the case. But for detailed help on copyright, definitely contact a lawyer. Let's take some action. Decide for yourself how vulnerable your music is to being used without your permission. If you feel vulnerable, look at getting your work a copyright. If you plan on applying your music for sync licensing, then get a copyright as well.